The Great Basin, a vast expanse of rugged terrain and stark beauty, where the land stretches out endlessly, meeting the sky in a distant horizon. A land of stark beauty. Mountains pierce the sky, standing tall and proud, as if they are guardians of ancient secrets and timeless stories. Salt flats shimmer under the sun, their reflective surfaces creating an illusion of water in this arid landscape. They are a testament to the harsh yet captivating environment. This is the home of the Shoshone, a people deeply connected to the land, their traditions and culture woven into the very fabric of this place. Their history is written in the land. Ancient petroglyphs tell stories of their ancestors, etched into stone for generations to come. It is whispered on the wind. The gentle breeze carries the voices of the past, a soft murmur that speaks of times long gone. But their stories have been forgotten, their voices silenced by the passage of time and the encroachment of modernity. For generations, the Shoshone roamed these lands. They knew every hill, every valley, and every stream, living in harmony with the natural world. They lived in harmony with nature. Their lives were intertwined with the rhythms of the earth, the seasons guiding their way of life, their spirits connected to the earth. But outsiders came. Settlers arrived, bringing with them new ways and new challenges. They brought promises of progress. They brought destruction instead. The land was scarred by machinery, and the balance was disrupted. The Shoshone were pushed aside, their land taken, their voices silenced. Fences and barriers divided what was once a unified expanse. Their history was buried under layers of neglect. Artifacts and remnants of their culture lay hidden beneath the soil, forgotten by many. But the spirits of the land remember. The mountains, the trees, and the wind hold on to the memories of the Shoshone people. They wait for someone to listen. The grass sways gently, as if whispering secrets to those who are willing to hear. They wait for someone to remember, to honor the legacy of the Shoshone and acknowledge the deep connection they had with this land. The wind whispers their names. It carries the echoes of their stories, a reminder of a time when the Shoshone thrived. The land holds their stories. Every rock, every blade of grass, and every grain of soil is a testament to their enduring presence. The Shoshone legacy lives on. Through cultural events and gatherings, their vibrant community continues to celebrate and preserve their heritage. It waits to be reclaimed. The land, the stories, and the spirit of the Shoshone await a new dawn, a time when they will be remembered and honored once more. Seraphina felt the pull of her ancestors. It was a force that transcended time and space, a connection that was as old as the earth itself. She heard their whispers in the wind, soft yet powerful, guiding her every step. The wind carried their wisdom, their hopes, and their dreams. She saw their stories in the land, etched into the mountains and rivers, in every tree and stone. The land was a living testament to their existence. Seraphina, a daughter of the Shoshone, knew the truth. She understood that her identity was deeply rooted in the legacy of her people. Her people were not forgotten. Their spirits lived on in the traditions, the songs, and the dances that had been passed down through generations. She held on to her grandmother's stories, tales of a time when the Shoshone roamed freely across the plains. These stories were her heritage. Stories of bravery and resilience, of battles fought and won, of survival against all odds. These were the stories that shaped her, stories of connection to the land, of a bond that could never be broken. The land was their mother, their provider, and their protector. These stories fueled Seraphina's spirit. They gave her strength and purpose, a reason to keep fighting for her people. They ignited a fire in her heart, a burning desire to honor her ancestors and preserve their legacy. She would fight to reclaim her heritage, to ensure that the stories of her people were never forgotten. Seraphina knew the importance of the past. She understood that the past was the foundation upon which the future was built. She knew the power of her ancestors' legacy. It was a legacy of strength, wisdom, and resilience. She vowed to protect it, to keep it alive for future generations. This was her calling, her mission. She would be their voice, speaking out against injustice and fighting for the rights of her people. She would make sure the world remembered. She would tell their stories, share their wisdom, and honor their sacrifices.
The spirits of our ancestors walk with us. They guide us. Listen to their whispers. They are always with us, in every breath we take.
Seraphina listened. She felt their presence, their strength, and their love. She was ready to answer the call. With determination in her heart and the spirit of her ancestors by her side, she would forge a path forward. Seraphina was not alone. Others heard the whispers too.
The past holds the key to the present. I've dedicated my life to uncovering the truth.
I see the inequalities around us. My words have power, and I will use them to fight for the forgotten.
The connection between the people and the land is crucial. Balance is everything. I will guide you on this journey.
Together they formed a bond. They shared a common goal. They would reclaim the Shoshone legacy. They would bring their story to light. They would be the voices of the silenced. Their path was not easy. Powerful forces wanted to keep the past buried. They profited from the silence. They feared the truth. These forces cast long shadows. They tried to stop Seraphina and her allies. Doors closed in their faces. Their questions were met with silence. Threats were whispered in the dark.
We will not be intimidated. The truth is worth fighting for.
Thomas faced skepticism from his peers. His research was dismissed, his motives questioned.
I will not be deterred. The importance of my work is clear.
Eleanor faced censorship. Her stories were buried, her voice silenced.
But I found other ways to spread the truth. The world needs to know.
They would not be silenced. The weight of lies pressed down on them, a burden that grew heavier with each passing day. Lies told and retold until they became accepted as truth, weaving a web of deceit that ensnared generations. The exploitation of the Shoshone people was not just a moment in history, but a continuous struggle that echoed through time. The theft of their land and resources was a wound that never healed, a scar on the landscape and in their hearts. The erasure of their history was a deliberate act, an attempt to silence their voices and erase their identity.
I saw the pain of my people, a pain that was etched into their faces and carried in their hearts. The despair in their eyes was a reflection of the injustices they had endured, a silent cry for justice. The loss of their heritage was a wound that cut deep, but it also fueled my determination to fight for what was right. I would expose the truth, no matter the cost, because the truth was a light that could not be extinguished. I would fight for justice, for the voices that had been silenced and the stories that had been buried.
They uncovered evidence of broken treaties, of promises made and then shattered, of stolen artifacts taken without consent. Each piece of evidence strengthened their resolve, a testament to their unyielding spirit and their quest for justice. They would bring the truth to light, no matter how long it took or how difficult the journey. The truth was a burden they were willing to carry, a weight that was heavy but necessary. It was a story that needed to be told, a narrative that demanded to be shared with the world. A story that demanded to be heard, a truth that could no longer be ignored. The world needed to know what happened here, to understand the depth of the injustice and the strength of the people who endured it. They traveled the Great Basin, following the footsteps of their ancestors. They listened to the whispers of the wind. They felt the spirits of the land guiding them. They visited ancient village sites, now silent and overgrown. They saw the petroglyphs, stories etched in stone. They felt the presence of their ancestors in these sacred places.
I performed ceremonies calling upon the spirits for guidance. I reminded them of the strength of their ancestors. I urged them to find courage in their connection to the land.
The past was not dead. It lived on in the land, in the stories, in the blood of the Shoshone people. It was a living history, a history they were reclaiming. The time came for them to take a stand. They held a gathering. People from all walks of life came. They came to listen, to learn, to show their support.
With the fire of my ancestors burning in my heart, I share our story, our resilience, our connection to the land, our fight for justice.
My research reveals the truth behind the lies, the injustices faced by the Shoshone people. We demand accountability.
The stories of those who have been silenced must be heard. We call for change. The world must bear witness.
The truth resonated with the people. They saw the injustice. They felt the pain of the Shoshone. They stood with them in solidarity. The powerful forces tried to discredit them. They spread lies and misinformation, but the truth had taken root. It could no longer be silenced. The media took notice. The story spread. The world was watching. The pressure mounted on those who had profited from the silence. The truth had been unveiled. It shone a light on the darkness. It exposed the lies. It gave hope to the Shoshone people. The impact of their actions reverberated far and wide. The fight was far from over, but they had planted seeds of change. People began to question the narratives they had been taught. They sought to learn more about the Shoshone people. They demanded justice for the wrongs committed. Museums returned stolen artifacts. Land was returned to the tribe. The government offered apologies for past injustices. The fight for justice is a long and arduous journey, but the Shoshone people knew that the truth would prevail. They would continue to fight for their rights. They would ensure that their story was never forgotten. Seraphina stood at the foot of the mountains. The wind whispered through the sagebrush. She felt the spirits of her ancestors surrounding her. She was home.
I have fought for my people. I have honored our legacy. I have ensured that our story will be told.
The Shoshone people were not forgotten. Their resilience, their connection to the land, their fight for justice, these were the legacies they passed on to future generations. The whispers in the wind grew stronger. They were no longer whispers of sadness or loss. They were whispers of hope, whispers of a legacy reclaimed, a future where the Shoshone people would thrive.